Welcome back to another edition, another installment of the Purple Rain podcast. I'm wearing a purple jersey. I didn't even recognize that until now. Awesome. But we are back, and we're just another day closer to regular season. I think in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today, is the first game of the 2022 NFL season, and that warms my heart. It makes it warm inside. I'm so excited for that. But until then, I guess we're here to make the time go by a little bit quicker. But it is 132nd edition, so you know what that means. We're talking about Eric Weddle.
Yeah.
We're talking about Marcus Williams. We're talking about some safeties. Talking about some pretty damn good safeties. I mean, you can't hate that. But we are back. I see everybody going crazy right now. And before we start anything, like I said, like the video, please, because we're on a streak right now. 3's a streak. Past 3 streams have had 100 likes while we're still live.
Love it.
Let's make it 4. Make it 4.
Yeah, please.
I'll hand it off to you right now.
Yeah, and just kind of taking it one step further, go ahead and follow us on Instagram while you're at it, at the Purple Rain Podcast. Listen, we've got the Rain Gang chat on Instagram going. If you want to be added to that, just let me know. Chike, I see my guy Chike in the chat. I got to add you to it. I told you that this morning. Shout out to my guy Chike. I went live on Instagram early this morning while I was at the gym. I went live on the Purple Rain Podcast Instagram account, and I was just talking a little bit of Ravens. Me and Chike were chopping it up. So shout out to him.
Out your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. But make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, as the season is right around the bend. Right around the corner, guys. Come on, listen. We're about to be ramping it up. The content is about to be ramping up, so make sure you stay tuned. Listen, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, just like you see down below. And also, you can find my guy over here at SimplyAS10 on Twitter at SimplyAS10 or on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. All right. Listen, we would be totally remiss, if we did not bring up some of you guys who are in the live chat. I see a lot of the Purple Rain pioneers in here. I see my guy Boz in here, Mod Boz. Let me put some respect on his name. Says, yo, Rain Gang, how is everyone's Thursday? It's going great, man. It's going
Oh my gosh, you said it. I love that.
Yeah. I can't lie, man. It's going great. Brent says, I like the video, boys. Brent, appreciate that. Guys, be like Brent. Like the video. Like the video, guys. Yeah. I see my guy Zeke Hokage in the building. Says, what's good, Purple Rain Gang? What's going on, Zeke? Appreciate you for pulling up, coming through. The Don is in the house. Alex and Sutton, my guys. What's going on, Don? I see my guy Dre in the building. Says, what's up, Purple Rain Gang? Yolanda in the house, the Purple Rain pioneer herself, says, good evening, Rain Gang. What's going on, Yolanda? Appreciate you for coming through. Cam Neal, I saw my guy Cam Neal put this in here right before we went live. Says, have a great stream as always. I just got to practice. Got to get this wall right. PRP #replay gang. I always appreciate Cam Neal, man, because he's always coming through with the replay gang.
And go bite off some kneecaps while you're there for me. How about that?
Yeah.
Go bite off some damn kneecaps.
Yeah. Do that. And just a little tidbit here, a little segue. If you're not watching this live, you're part of the #replay gang. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode 132 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Make sure you like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we would definitely appreciate that. And like we said before, in each and every episode in the offseason, there's a lot more Ravens content coming your way. The season is right here. Like my guy Alex said, less than 2 weeks. Like, come on. We're right there. So you want to be locked in, hit that subscribe button. Also, like the video. We'd appreciate it. Dylan's in the house. What's going on, Dylan? Twisted Purple Bird is here too. Says, gang. What's going on, gang? JD Killswitch says, sup, Rain Gang. What's going on? Appreciate you for pulling up. Floyd is in the building. SG. I see Michael.
Lovely.
Says, let's skip the Commanders game. Let's skip the Commanders game and jump straight to September 11th. I'm ready for regular season. I am.
Michael, I wish we could. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, me too. But we do have some business to take care of on Saturday night against the Washington Commanders. So we're going to go ahead and get to that. Dawson's in the house as well. I see Peter in here. What's going on, Peter? All right.
Is Peter new? I think Peter's new. If you want.
I think Peter is new. Yeah. Let us know. If so, welcome. Welcome to the Rain Gang. You're part of the family now officially. All right. So listen, guys, we have some Ravens football to talk tonight.
Yes.
Last preseason game of the preseason, Ravens versus Commanders at the bank. Me and this guy over here will be in attendance of that game this Saturday night at 7 p.m. We're excited for it. I'm
obviously, buzzing.
listen, Alex, obviously there's not going to be a whole lot of starters playing. We learned that today, right?
Yeah.
Harbaugh came out and said publicly Lamar Jackson will not play. So if you didn't know, now you know Lamar Jackson will not play in the last preseason game. And this is the first time in his career that he has not played any preseason games. Alex, what do you think about that?
You know, it's going to say a lot. I hope our practices are, no walk in the park. I don't think they are, because we're going to the regular season, and you can't start off on a flat foot, because these are the same Jets that were playing that somehow, some way with Mike White, all right, beat the Bengals last year. And I'm not overlooking the Jets at all. It could be Joe Cool himself back there. I don't care who it is. It could be Mike Glennon. They're going to play us hard. So I hope we start off on a strong foot, because we've seen it before that, we talked about it last year with the first round bye. Teams can look rusty. They can look rusty and it can hurt you. But if it's for his health, and with that being said, I completely get it. I get it. So I'm not mad at it. I just hope that we are taking the right steps necessary to prepare for our week 1 game.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think for me personally, I think it's honestly a combination of, him and the Ravens organization for that matter, protecting Lamar Jackson's health, but then also the contract situation as well. I think the combination of those two things together really like gives you the idea of why Lamar Jackson is not playing at all in the preseason. Because you look last season, Lamar Jackson was coming off of, of course, yes, it was a concussion injury that he suffered in that Bills playoff loss. But it was an injury nonetheless, right?
Yep.
And he played preseason. Lamar Jackson was rumored to be maybe okay by playoffs last year. We were all holding our breath, say, hey, maybe if we can just make the playoffs, Lamar will come back. And, from that point, that was like January, December. So we're already in August, almost September. It's been a long time. Lamar Jackson has been ready to rock and roll for a minute now.
Yep.
So you can't really just point to, they just want to make sure that, the ankle's okay. The ankle's been okay.
Yeah.
It's been okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's a combination of the contract thing too.
Yeah. I'm so tired of the contract talk. I didn't even think about that. I'll be honest. But yeah, you're right. And how we know he's okay is that over the summer he was posting all of these just workout videos with Spence Fit. We knew he was fine. That dude was running around, chucking up. Even the video was released yesterday of him just hitting Antonio Brown. Yeah, I said the name, hitting Antonio Brown on a pass. So I think he'll obviously be ready to go. But with that being said, he hasn't played in how many months? So I hope he's not has the ants in his pants to go out there and just do too much. But keep him grounded, just let him do his thing.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting point, because before we get to the Washington Commanders, like talking about that game, breaking down that preseason game, I think you make a good point there. I hope he doesn't come out in week 1 against the Jets with the jitters. I think to prevent that, the Ravens will probably, style the offense early on to kind of just be run heavy, as it normally is, but less exactly, but less more so in Lamar Jackson's hands. Don't expect a big passing first half, I would say, against the
Bateman
Jets.
go long. Yeah, not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that in the first half unless the Jets really come out there and punch us in the mouth early on, and then we have to kind of open things up. Yeah, that's the scenario I see.
Some play action, some Pat Ricard design play. Sounds about right.
We're gonna have to draw something up for sure.
Can you imagine the Ravens fan base if our first drive of the year is based towards Pat Ricard, like we saw against the Vikings game? I kind of hope that happens. Hope we score. Hope the result is the same.
Right? Yeah.
But I would just love to see how the reaction from the team.
I mean, honestly, that would be kind of dope, though. That would just show you how deep the bag is. It's just
the vault.
The vault.
The vault is open.
You know what I'm saying? It's got to be open. If we come out and we bust the Jets over the head with a Pat Ricard drive for a touchdown on the first drive, oh yeah. And then the next, God knows what else we have in the vault. We got Isaiah Likely now. The possibilities, exactly. The possibilities are likely endless. That's all I'm saying. But let's go ahead and let's get into just kind of breaking down this Washington Commanders versus Ravens game. Like we said, starters really aren't going to be playing like that. I assume a couple of them will be sprinkled in there. And I think this is also another game where we'll get to see like some of the rookies showcased a lot as well. I feel like we'll get a high snap count for, guys like Pepe Williams. I think Ben Cleveland, even though I know he's in his second year, he played a high snap count in the last game. There's a lot of guys who are really fighting for, either first or second string spots, in this game. So who are you, Alex? Who are you really looking forward to seeing in this final preseason game against the Commanders?
I'm gonna be honest. When we're there, I'm not gonna be watching them with like my microscope. But it's gonna, who you mentioned, Ben Cleveland. I think that left guard position is 100% up for grabs. Yeah. I think I will say it nonstop. The Tyree Phillips at tackle, just the experiment, it's done. It's over. Yeah. It's failed. Can we just stop? Okay. I'm really happy that Jawan James has looked as good as he has at left tackle, because we know where our right tackle is. And we haven't even seen Patrick McCurry play tackle, but we know he can. This preseason, we haven't seen them. So the offensive line, I mean, hell yeah, I want to see it. Kind of scared. Did he say anything about Linderbaum playing? Do you know? Did you hear?
Harbaugh?
Yeah. I didn't watch the presser. I saw tidbits.
Well, he said that he's been practicing for, I think, 3 days straight now. And I think he's looked pretty good so far.
I wouldn't mind a drive or two with him in there, personally.
Yeah. Just to get his feet wet,
Exactly. You don't want him to go to MetLife Stadium on his NFL debut. Like, his first snap is in a regular season game, where if you mess this snap up, buddy, it's not going to be good. No. But I mean, first, the line. We've talked about this the whole offseason, how we had to improve it, and I think we have. And the guys like TCC who were starting games last year are on the bubble now, which kind of goes to show how our line is looking. So first for me is the line. I'll let you give yours.
Yeah. I mean, you make a good point with the offensive line. I'll even go further and say, the defensive line as well.
The trenches.
We know the trenches. I mean, it's all about the trenches. And another thing is that we know that Travis Jones will not be playing, for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks, which we'll get into as well. And, that means that the depth is going to have to actually really, prove their worth. Who's going to be here for the next 2 or 3 weeks holding down that spot, while Travis Jones is still hurt. That's what I'm really looking forward to seeing, as well. Like you said, the offensive line too. I've really seen most of what I need to see from the receivers, and tight ends, things like that. I would love to see more of a contribution from guys like Mekhi Polk. I'm really big on him. And then as well, Isaiah Likely, I would like to see him get a little less playing time, dial it back a little bit, maybe like a drive, 2 at the most, save him for the regular season. We've seen, I think, quite enough of him. Maybe let him go out there, prove. I don't know. Maybe let him go out there for one drive. Maybe that's just me. What do you think about that though, Isaiah Likely?
I don't want him to play at all. That's just how. But I understand why he is a rookie. I get that.
Yeah.
I think a drive is the absolute maximum, because you saw what he did last week. 16 snaps, 8 catches, 1 for a touch. 8 catches, 100 yards, a touchdown.
Yeah,
he's a 4th round pick. I think we knew he was going to make the team. I think a drive is enough. Maybe give him like 1 or 2 passes, but I'm cool with that.
Right. Yeah.
But with you saying receivers, I think unless he has an absolute stinker of a game, I think Mekhi Polk will make the team. Personally, I think he's looked really good. I wouldn't be surprised if Tylan Wallace, maybe IR. I know he's back to practicing, but he has to have a big game too. Polk has looked really good, not just on the offense, but special teams too, which is why I think he's made a really good case for himself. But, to go on with the receivers, I want to see more passing. All right. We saw Bridges the first game.
Right.
Bridges and Polk, let them take over. Let's see what they can do.
Right. And like you said in the last episode, if they throw some picks, who cares? Forget the streak. Me personally, I like the streak. Yeah. I do, but I get what you're saying. Like, totally. Throw the ball around the yard. See what we have at receiver. See what sticks. Throw it at the wall. See what sticks. Literally, that's all it is in the preseason. That's all the preseason is about. Before I get too passionately into that, we do have a super chat donation. Wow. This one coming from our guy Gerald.
Who else?
Per usual, man. G Money pulling up from half court. We appreciate that, bro. We really do. We really do each and every time. He says, does LJ play the regular season if he is not signed?
Oh, I think he does.
Yeah.
I think he does.
Yeah, definitely. Lamar, he's a gamer. He's one of those guys where he just wants to play football. I kind of compare him to he's like the Kevin Durant of the NFL. You know, KD, yes, like he wants what he wants, but at the end of the day, he just wants to play basketball.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like Lamar Jackson is the same way. So yeah, I think he's gonna play even if he's not signed, because listen, he went from how much? Do you know how many millions he made last season, Alex?
I think we talked like I think it was like 2 to 4. I think it was like 3-ish. I believe. I want to say 3-ish.
Right. I mean, in his 5th year option, he's gonna be making like what 28 million this year. So I'm sure he's not like chomping at the bit to like get something done to make, you know, 28 million is probably more than he's ever made in his lifetime. So I'm pretty sure he's probably content with that, maybe betting on himself for one more year, because I know he believes, and just like we all believe, he can deliver the Ravens a Super Bowl. And if he does that, I mean, the sky's the limit in terms of contract. So
back to bring talks up. Announced the contract extension at the Super Bowl parade.
Yep.
Life is good.
Life is good. Hey. But thank you, Gerald, so much for your super chat donation. We appreciate that so much each and every time. Twisted Purple Bird here says, I want to see Shamar Bridges. Let's see if it was just that one game.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to see, of course, like I said, Shamar Bridges. I want to see Anthony Brown. I want to see Tyler Huntley really just. And that's another reason why the offensive line protection is important, because I want them to have the time. I want there to be no excuse as to why you can't like just fire the ball off to these guys and see what they can do against coverage. You know,
a vertical passing attack. I mean, I want to see if. I mean, I don't want to bring the guy up again on our coordinator, but I want to see if we can maybe dial out some deep plays. You know, if we, you know, we've seen. Imagine they score on us real quick, and like a regular season game, people expect us to run it down their throat, and we hit them deep. We answer right back, like the Chiefs Bills game, like right back. I mean, that's a whole other part of this offense that we didn't even know we had. So, because I think Huntley didn't even throw a pass past 10 yards. So, what if we're down big and you throw more than 10 yards? I know Lamar can do that.
Right, we got to see him
open
experiment.
It up. Let's experiment.
Absolutely, got to see him open it up. All right. So we'll be kind of taking questions here and there throughout the episode, but we're going to go ahead and kind of segue to a couple of other pieces of Ravens news right after our score predictions. We got to give our score predictions for this Ravens game, because we promised we would do it at the end of the last episode. We did. So we got to go ahead and do it. It is really a question of, is the streak alive or is the streak dead? For me, I'm going to say the streak remains alive. I mean, that's just me. Yeah. I'm going to go... In this one, I'm gonna probably go 27-13. I'm gonna go 27-13 Ravens.
You and SG almost had the same exact prediction. I like
really?
He said 27-10. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Close.
Okay.
Close. I believe the streak lives on. I just don't see us losing at home. Much like regular season games, it's hard to go against the Ravens at home. But Huntley threw for 5 touchdowns against them last year. I think he will throw for 3 this year. Anthony Brown tacking on 1, and maybe another Jordan Stout field goal. Or he had an extra point, but I'm going for a field goal. I'm going to go 31-17 Ravens.
31-17. Okay. Yeah. Got you. I like that. I see the Rain Gang is in the chat giving their predictions, their score predictions. SG says 27-10. I want to bring this up. My guy from Huddle It Up Films, 24-6. What's going on, Jason? Appreciate you for coming through, pulling up. Love what you do on your channel. Make sure you guys go ahead over to his channel and make sure to subscribe. Listen, the Ravens content is everywhere. It's in abundance. I love it. It's everywhere. You know, like anywhere you turn.
And the same viewers too. I love seeing you guys in there too.
Yes.
We all watch each other at the end of the day.
It's a community. It's a community. Like, wow.
I saw Don in there. I saw Yolanda in there. That was dope.
Tasha Bowman.
Dope.
Yeah. Don, man. You guys, I love you guys. It's really a community here. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple other pieces of Ravens news that we really want to get into. Yeah. Gus Edwards, man. Oh my God.
Oh boy, Augustus.
Jeez. It just gets, the news gets more grim and more grim as the weeks go by. Yeah. We thought that Gus Edwards was going to be good to go. Just like J.K. Dobbins, we thought he was going to be good to go by week 1. You know, a couple weeks ago, Harbaugh came out saying that, he was a little bit behind Dobbins in terms of his, progress in terms of recovering.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, we found out that, he is on the reserve list, right? and he will not be able to come off that reserve list until week 5 of the regular season. So that will be the earliest that we can have Gus Edwards. Week 5.
The earliest, the absolute earliest. Which I'm not a doctor. I don't go to school to be a doctor because I couldn't do it. All right, much respect to them. I could not do it, but I would love to know what the difference between. I think it was both ACL tears. I could be wrong with Dobbins and Edwards. Dobbins was against the Washington football team in FedEx Field. Gus's was the next week in practice. I don't know if it's the surgery, if it's the recovery. I maybe it's just how the bodies are responding to it. How Dobbins is back and Gus is going to be out for another probably 2 months. I'm going to say 2 months. I would love to know. I mean, we won't know, but it's just to me it would be interesting. What was different between the two. But I'm just happy at least there's a pathway and there's news. Unlike with Ronnie Stanley, I'll be happy to get into that later because that worries me to bits. That worries me to absolute bits.
Like, all right? I mean, the thing about, oh God, we'll get into Ronnie Stanley in a few minutes. Right after this, because I want to talk about that. I have a bone to pick with that situation. But my guy Spooky J here says it's looking grim. It's looking grim. And then Brent says Mike Davis looks hungry. Listen, I mean,
congrats
we've got
to Mike
J.K.
Davis,
Dobbins.
New dad.
Congrats to
New
him.
Dad.
Yes. Just had a baby recently the other day. Baby Kimma, baby girl. So shout out to Mike Davis and hope all is well in his household with his newborn for sure. But in terms of the running back room, Alex, like with no Gus Edwards, we've got J.K. Dobbins, and then are we confident with Mike Davis being the solid, running back 2? Or should there be a debate with somebody else who should be in that spot?
I think it is Mike Davis. Because is Beatty a running back 1? Is he? Is Justice Hill? I mean, we saw Nate McRae, but we had to sign Le'Veon Bell, the boxer, to play running back, and Nate McRae couldn't get a chance.
Right.
I mean, Kenyon Drake's out there if we want.
He is. But, I heard there was interest, right?
I mean, we were interested in Melvin Gordon. I think that was even with Mike Davis. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if we had him, but I'm comfortable with him. I'd be a lot more comfortable with J.K. Dobbins at running back 1. But like we saw, if Greg Roman could take who we had last year, I think we're a top 5 rushing team. I think we'll be able to do it with Lamar, back there with the threat of him.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried. Yeah, I'm worried for sure. No Gus Edwards. I mean, Gus Edwards, he does things for the running game that, we really kind of take for granted sometimes, I feel like. A couple of plays just come to mind automatically. In the beginning of that Bills playoff loss a couple years ago, I mean, Gus Edwards was just gashing them on the ground to start the game.
What happened?
And we got away from that. We just stopped doing that. I don't know really what happened to that. I mean, I think we got shut down one time and then we completely abandoned it. And it was
2019. He was we busted a big run, and that was our longest play of the night, it felt like. And then what?
Nothing.
I think this is why our frustration is more than just warranted, because we've seen this stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Like, Gus Edwards definitely deserves a lot more playing time, for sure. Time on the field. Now, let me see. Let's go to that Ronnie Stanley thing. Let's circle back to that.
Before we go,
sure.
We have 100 viewers right now, so thank you very much, every single one of you. And we have 47 likes. Can we hit 50? 50, please. Let's get to the 50 burger, and then we'll talk about it more and more. But we can talk about Ronnie Stanley because some other news that came out yesterday was the Cowboys left tackle Tyron Smith.
Oh my God!
Got hurt, and I'm not going to go into like what happened to him because reading what that sounds painful, and I haven't even went through it. All right, but it's going to show you how crucial left tackles are, and how you just can't pick up a good one off the street.
No, yeah, exactly.
So we'll talk about let's just talk about Ronnie Stanley because we haven't heard anything about him. We've heard, I guess, the Harbaugh, he's working on his ankle. He got the surgery.
But what does that mean, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, you
John,
you can't just leave us in the dark, John. It's like, come on. I mean, this guy is one of the highest paid players on the roster, And it's just like you're just so tight-lipped about his recovery. We don't know anything. Will he be ready for week 1? Who knows? It's just a mystery, And it was a mystery. My problem is it was a mystery leading up to the regular season last year. We saw him playing week 1 and then never saw him again. So it's like, why aren't you being transparent about things this time? Why are you still holding the card so close to your chest? I just don't get it.
And like we said, we talked about it. Like I remember where I was, where we were. We called it. We said he's not going to be back. we knew it. We knew he wasn't going to be back last year, and that's what happened. And SG, I love that he says at least we have depth this year. Jawan James, Morgan Moses, Falele, and Makari. Yeah, we do, but they aren't Ronnie Stanley. They aren't. No. I mean, when he was healthy, he was shutting down Nick Bosa his rookie year. Like it was nothing. Nick Bosa couldn't do anything, which is insane. Like, but yeah, it is worrying. And I think I do live by no news is good news, so I'm gonna keep that held that to me. But I would like some news soon. I would.
I don't know, man. The whole no news is good news thing it doesn't really come from me. It doesn't give me the same sort of comfort. It just doesn't because I mean we've seen Harbaugh before be like tight-lipped on things and then come to find out they're worse than we expected, So
the Lamar bone bruise, like the bone bruise.
Yeah. So I mean there's a couple different instances. So it's just I don't know how I feel about that as of right now. I just don't. Raven Ron says I don't trust anything that Hard says.
It's just those press conferences are fun. Just hearing things that they say.
Yeah.
Can we make a deal this year though? That when the time comes, we're not going to talk about when that turf at one winning drive turns to yellow. We're not going to talk about it because every year it happens. They're always like, "This is why people get hurt. This is ugly." I'm not talking about it.
Okay.
That's how the turf is.
All right.
Because I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen.
Got you. My guy, the Don says, please hit the like for the guys. Appreciate that, Don. We really do. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Adam78 brings up something here. Says, did you see the video of the Bengals versus Rams joint practice today? Aaron Donald rips off a helmet and swung it, hitting a player twice. He will definitely be suspended.
Yeah, I think so. I think he will.
Do you really think so, though?
I mean, he swung a helmet. Listen, I said the picture of him holding both of the helmets, I said it was a cold picture, and I got slack for it, all right? That was a cold picture. This dude is holding two helmets of the team that's not on him. Like, that is tough. I don't care what you say. Like, he is sitting here with two Bengals helmets. I don't care what team it was. It could have been the Steelers doing it. I would have thought it's a cold picture. But, yeah, I think because we saw what Myles Garrett got. He got an indefinite suspension. He got the rest of I think that was the 18-19 season, I believe. Yeah. No, the 2019 season because that's when Mason Rudolph was in. And then he got reinstated in that next February. I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know though because what Myles Garrett did, that was in a game at like an NFL stadium that's owned by the NFL, but this was at a training facility probably owned by the team. So I would think the punishment will have to be dished out by the team, no?
Yeah, I think it will. And now the Rams, he's their best player by far.
So I'm about to say, you think the Rams are going to be like, Aaron Donald, you're suspended 10 games.
Right. Let's be real. It's probably going to be a fine. That's what I'm expecting.
Probably a little fine for sure. A slap on the wrist, But yeah, I mean, I heard that. I mean, if you watch the video that was, going around the internet earlier today, I think in the end of the video, one of the guys in the background was like, "Oh, you see that they provoked them, like they started it, like you see how it started, that sort of thing." So, I would love to know the full story. I'm sure we probably won't get the full story, but I don't think Aaron Donald's going to suffer any type of suspension, honestly.
I mean, I'd love to see the guy or whoever said that it was a smart idea to have them practice together. We talked about it before we went live. Like that was what.
Well, I heard from somewhere that Sean McVay had like reached out to
Zach Taylor.
Yeah, Zach Taylor.
Because Zach Taylor was on. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That's interesting.
That wasn't smart. But.
Interesting, nonetheless. Interesting for sure. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into some news about Travis Jones.
Okay.
Travis Jones. He is out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And what did they say was wrong with him, Alex?
I think it's what was it? Hyperextension, I think. Was that it?
Yeah, it was a hyperextension. It's a hyperextension. Well, you said they said 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 5.
3 to 5. This is bad. This is very, very bad.
This is very. The Stephen A. We were thinking about the same thing.
Yeah. Honestly, man. I mean, Travis Jones, probably one of the more impressive rookies that we've seen in training camp and in the preseason as well. And like for this to come out, I do kind of empathize for what you were saying in the last episode. Like he shouldn't have been in there, at that point.
And listen, I get your point with the rookies.
Yeah.
Like if I have no problem with us having what's his name in there, Pepe Williams. I get that. I had no problem with that. If Armour Davis was playing, but my problem was Harbaugh saying he is the best defensive tackle in the draft is where my problem lied, because you know how talented he is, and you know that we just lack so bad that interior rush, and then that happens. So thankfully, I mean, we don't play run heavy teams until I think week 3, which is the Patriots. I don't see the Jets and the Dolphins running it like we do, but
that's a good
Patriots
point.
can run the rock. So hopefully
that's a good point. Secondary is definitely gonna have to be on point the first couple of weeks. I mean, but also as well, I mean, the pass rush too, and Travis Jones still contributed to that.
Oh my goodness.
But I'll be excited to see if I really still want to see what Justin Madubuike can bring to the table, though. Because I'm still on that hype train. I am. I'm sorry, but I am.
No, you're
he
fine.
is. He's. I think he's a bad man. I do. So
he's a bad man.
Well, yeah. We'll see what he does. We'll see what he does this season. Let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. Dylan says 3 of our top 4 draft picks hurt.
Yeah. Ojabo probably. I'm gonna put him and Gus maybe at the same time we get them. See, that would be awesome. Like, what if we are on like this? Maybe we win. Then we lose a game or two. Then we have those guys that come back to like boost us up.
Right.
That would be.
Or imagine if we start off 3-0. Because I know we play the Bills week 4, and we get Gus back.
Yeah.
Not week 4, but we get Travis Jones back.
Yeah.
Like by that time or something like that. That'd be pretty dope. I mean, I think that week 4 is definitely going to be the litmus test, like we talked about on the schedule release episode.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
The first 3 games, will be challenging against the Jets and then the Dolphins, and then the who am I missing?
In Foxborough.
Patriots, yeah. In Foxborough, yeah. Those 3 games will definitely be tough. Obviously, the Dolphins beat us last year. The Patriots are always going to play as tough, and the Jets. I think we're going to win that game, but
the only thing is it is week 1.
Week 1, so a lot of crazy things again. But listen, the Ravens are normally week 1 champs. Last year, what was really wild.
Last year we should have won, and the reason why we didn't win. The reason why we didn't win is because of the guy that's not here anymore, who is in New York, is Wink Martindale, because he couldn't stop them. I think it was like 40 seconds left. We couldn't stop them. He's not here anymore.
I mean, we also had some really bad offensive tackle play.
Oh my goodness. And the fact that we still were in that position, I think, to win the game. Drove down, got the field goal, and then they just I think Brian Edwards was cooking us alive. Brian Edwards.
Well, look, man, I think we'll win the first 3 games. Against the Buffalo Bills, that'll be the true test of the season to see where the Ravens are at. But just kind of getting back to what Dylan said here, 3 of our top 4 draft picks hurt. I know that they took Kyle Hamilton off the field earlier today at practice. I read that. Yeah. I think it was more of like a precautionary thing, and I think the Ravens are kind of getting to that point where they're like, all right, there's paranoia. It's kind of paranoia. Like, okay, the season is right here. Yeah. And we see a Tyron Smith go down. We see such and such go. Listen, the Ravens are not exempt from the I word bug. Nope. You know what I mean? They're not. And we know that. We know that better than probably any other team in the league at this point. So, I'm not mad, if Harbaugh holds out most of the starters in the last preseason game.
Yeah, and one thing about Kyle Hamilton I want to bring up is I saw a pretty cool stat. I'm looking for it. He's had 53 coverage snaps and not 1 catch allowed.
That's interesting.
Yeah. The one thing that I think he has to do better is tackling. But besides that, he's been covering great. I still see people kind of say he's a bust or say he's going to be a bust. I don't see it. Maybe I have the purple lenses on. But I think that's pretty good for a safety if you played 53 snaps and not one catch allowed, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree there. And, going back to Kyle Hamilton, he's definitely going to get he's going to get some playing time this season, like a lot of playing time. And it kind of shifting towards like a guy like Chuck Clark, seeing what he said earlier today, like, he was thinking about, much respect. He literally kind of requested a trade from the Ravens, like saying, hey, like, can I get out of here? Like, I guess once he found out that the Ravens were getting Kyle Hamilton, another safety. But then he kind of manned up to it, and he was just like, hey, look, these guys don't want to trade me, so I'm going to earn my spot. Like, I'm not going to let anybody come in here and take my spot. Like, you're going to have to earn it. Like, and I love that mentality from him.
Not many other people would do that at all.
You're right.
I think he could have taken the easy way out. He could have requested a trade, could have requested to be released, could have done all of that, could have sat out, but he didn't.
Right.
And I have a lot of respect for Chuck Clark, and I hope he absolutely balls the hell out, honestly. Because that right there, I mean, that's something.
It is, yeah. Dre here says, where's Jalen Armour Davis? Haven't heard a lot at all about this guy. And, I was excited about him coming out of the draft because isn't he coming out of Alabama, right?
Bama, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was really excited to see what this guy had to offer. And, there's been no news. So, Alex, for you, I mean, is no news good news in this scenario?
Well, Huddle Up Films, Jason said that he banged his head on last Wednesday, and that's when he's still out.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So maybe concussion, I'm thinking.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? And let me kind of segue to this. I talked about this with you through text a little bit earlier. Preseason. Do you think, or how important do you think preseason is? Do you think that, because I know there's some people that think that preseason should be done away with, because all that you really get out of it is, injuries, and, it's not like they're selling out stadiums and things like that. There's more bad than good. Exactly. There's more bad than good. And you're hurting the regular season product because not all the players that you thought were going to be ready to go are ready to go. Because some guys got banged up off of freak injuries, things like that. So do you think that the preseason should be done away with, or do you think that they should modify it in some way, or do you think that it's good how it is?
I like it the way it is. I see every sport has a preseason. I still think my biggest problem with it is the added game in the NFL season, the 17 games. I think I'll stand on that hill. I think I don't know why they took away one preseason game and added it to the regular season, because that's 60 more minutes of you going all out, putting your life on the line for football compared to just you can take that away. But I would have been cool if they just took away have 3 preseason games and left it at that, and then the 16 games. I don't know what they really could change, but I get why people don't like it. I am probably selfish because I like seeing the rookies ball out, the young guys ball out, and the guys from USFL this year especially that worked their ass off to play in this league. And they got the call from an NFL team. I think it's the one returner for the Cowboys. He took back a kick and a punt. Like, he's probably gonna make their team, which I think that's dope. But I understand why people don't like it. Maybe they wouldn't shorten I don't know what they can really do except remove another game. That's about it. But I'm not sure. But with Armour Davis, like, he got hurt in a training in a practice, so. And they added the whole little stuff, the helmet for head injuries. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just feel like it's too physical of a game to really go out there and play it like. Because I mean, regardless of what you say, if you say that players don't go 100% in preseason,
right?
It's football.
Right.
This is football.
You're getting hit.
You're getting hit. Talk about a freaking left guard going up against a defensive tackle. They're going up against each other. There is no 50% in that. Like, you're going hard. So it's like you put these guys at risk, and that's the reason why. That's the exact reason why a lot of coaches don't play a lot of their ones, even a lot of their twos in preseason games. But towards the later times in the preseason, you start to ease in the starters, some of the high twos, and then boom, some of those guys go down with injury, and then it's kind of, I don't know, it takes away from the regular season product to me.
Yeah,
it just does.
I get that.
And I think that a lot of people are of the school of thought that you can just do these joint practices joint practices, less injuries, less intensity, and you can still get prepared for the season.
There's been more bad from good, I feel, with this season joint practices. Like I've seen more brawls. I've seen just more drama, I guess, escalated. More Twitter drama. I think AJ Brown was calling somebody out from the Dolphins or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, they're good, I guess, in some ways. I think our last joint practice was with the Eagles, and I don't think really anything happened there, which was good. But besides that, I mean, even a joint practice, you call it practice, but you're going up against somebody that is not your teammate. You're going 100%.
Right. Exactly. The Don in here says, please hit that like for Alex and Sutton. I see my guy Seth in here says, what's up, Rain Gang? Checking in quick on my lunch break. Hope everybody has a great night. What's going on, Seth? Appreciate you for coming on your lunch break. Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and talk about some questions. Let's get into some questions. We got some football coming up here soon and very soon. So let's go ahead and kick off our Rain Gang question segment. Any questions that you have about the Ravens right now, about NFL in general, about just life, anything. Honestly, anything. You can ask us anything about anything.
It can be, honestly. When we say
now is the time. Now is the time. Exactly. I mean, the season's right around the corner, but we're still kind of holding on, and we need you guys. We need the Rain Gang to ask us things. We need you guys. We love you guys too. Seth is in here. Says, not even saying, just a super sticker.
It's a super chat. Thank you. Much love.
Thank you, Seth.
On the lunch break.
On the lunch break. We appreciate that, bro. We appreciate that. I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. On your lunch break, just wow. Thank you, Seth. Wow. Rush says predictions for week 1 starting O-line.
Okay.
Man, if I want to go from left to right, but I don't know where to start. If you know what I mean.
Go. Yeah, let's go right to left. Right tackle to left tackle.
Morgan Moses, of course, right tackle. Right guard, we got Kevin Zeitler. Center, I mean, hopefully it's Tyler Linderbaum because he's back at practice. He looks like he's doing well. Hopefully he'll play a little bit in the Commanders game. Left guard, I'm thinking as of right now, it depends on how well Ben Cleveland plays in this last preseason game. If he balls out, then I'm thinking Ben Cleveland. They're going to give it a shot with him. If he doesn't, then probably Powers. Left tackle, oh man, I really want it to be Ronnie Stanley, and this is where the biggest question lies. But what do you think?
I agree with your right tackle through left guard. I'm gonna go Juwan James, left tackle. I think
Juwan James.
I don't think Stanley will be ready at all.
Got you. All right, let's see. Huddle It Up Film says, question, with Ben Cleveland hurt again and Phillips playing everywhere, are we really starting Powers at left guard again? I mean, we kind of have to, I don't really know anybody else who is, I guess you could say, more serviceable than a Ben Powers at that position.
Yeah. I mean, has Makari played left guard yet?
Makari's been everywhere.
He can play anywhere, it feels like.
Yeah, he's been everywhere. But probably Ben Powers. Probably Powers, yeah. Let's see. So my guy Chike says, should Lamar Jackson be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
That's what he's going to want.
Honestly, yes. I'm going to say yes. Because you want to know why? Deshaun Watson is the NFL's highest paid employee at the moment. And I'm sorry, I don't care if it did happen and it shouldn't have happened. It did happen, like, at the end of the day. And, Deshaun Watson, he set that precedent. The Cleveland Browns set that precedent. So Lamar Jackson, he's owed more than Deshaun Watson because quite frankly, he's done more. He's got a regular season MVP.
I think
he's better. Yeah, I think he's better too.
That's not any bias. I think I'm just talking about what I watched and what I see. I think he's better.
And when you talk about the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, it's not even necessarily about the question of who is the best quarterback in the NFL. No, it's about who's next up to get paid. Whoever's next up to get paid is going to get paid the most because it just keeps going up and up and up. So that's pretty much all it is when it comes to those top tier quarterbacks.
And I feel like whatever quarterback is up for that contract is going to get the highest paid. It's going to be the Ian Rappaport tweet. They get it.
Right.
And now so-and-so is the highest paid quarterback or player in the league. That's how it always is.
That's how it goes. Jonathan Washington Jr. here says, do you believe Jordan Stout kicking off in preseason is a sign they're going to have him doing so in the regular season, moving Justin Tucker to exclusively kicking field goals. Sorry about that. I honestly did not know that Jordan Stout was kicking off in the preseason.
Yeah. Definitely, it wasn't Tucker. He wasn't. He had a couple like good ones, but it's a good point. I think Tucker will still be doing it, but maybe it's something they could look into doing if, knock on wood, Tucker doesn't look the same. You know, they love to build up the value for anybody on this team. You know, they had Vedvik doing it, but it's like Stout's making the team. I don't know.
It's so funny how Justin Tucker, he's such a made man in the Ravens organization. Like he just got paid. The extension. Like he probably did say like, hey, why don't we try the kid at kickoffs?
Yeah.
I mean,
he has like what? I think he has like 15 or 16 punts already. Jordan Stout.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm a sucker for a good punt.
Repetitions for sure. Love that. D Skinner FX says, how many touchdowns will MVP Lamar Jackson throw this year? Over, let's say this, over under 27 touchdowns.
Over. Gotcha. 17 games.
Okay.
Over. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, man, it's tough for me because I'm feeling with like our running game back. I mean, by late season, if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards are healthy, I feel like they're going to be getting a lot of the touchdowns. We're going to be getting in the red zone and punching it in a lot.
Yeah.
So I would probably go maybe like, I would say like 26 or maybe holding the line at 27. Honestly, I don't even want to necessarily say 30, because I just feel like our style of offense, we're going to be running the ball a lot more. So
I'm thinking like 32, 33. Okay, as long as we can be efficient. We need to be efficient. That's our because we haven't been efficient the past last year. No.
And I hope you're right. Not me, honestly. All right, let's see. We'll take one more question in here. This one coming from Kali says, who is going to win the Champions League?
I'd be dumb to go against Real Madrid. I'd be very dumb. But could be Bayern. God. Boz is in here. He's going to kill me if I don't say Real Madrid. I'm going to go Real Madrid. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bayern.
Well, let me ask you this. Real Madrid because of who?
Benzema. See, you got to – when you watch – like, there are some players you got to watch in soccer, like certain teams, like they're like when they get the ball, you think they're going to score. And Benzema's one.
Wait. Benzema, he's been balling for a while though. He isn't he a little bit older.
He's came into like so it's when Ronaldo left, Benzema turned into like him. He's been doing it, but Benzema like, put the team on his back. Like him last year in Champions League was different. Absolutely different.
I gotta look up like some highlights from him this year.
If there's a game you want to watch Manchester City against Real Madrid. That was insanity.
I'm gonna definitely have to check that out for sure.
90th minute, like extra time, crazy.
Yeah. I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it there for the question segment, and thus this episode of the Purple Rain podcast, as we have some football to get to. If you're watching live right now, the Packers and the Chiefs are getting ready to rock and roll in preseason, the last week of the preseason. So we're gonna let you guys get to that. If you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for coming out to this episode. We appreciate that. Episode 132. Of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel as well. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, just like you see down below. You can find this guy on Twitter at SimplyAs10, on Instagram at SimplyAs10.prod, and on YouTube at SimplyAs10. Of course, you can find us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. And with that being said, I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
Hope to see you all on Saturday as well. Really hope so. And King, listen, Europa League is so much better than Champions League. I'm gonna stand on that hill. But hope you all have a great weekend. Hope you enjoy some great football. And I hope we are coming back next week with a smile on our faces, getting ready for week 1. And if you are going to be at the game, make sure you DM the Purple Rain podcast. We want to see y'all. We really want to. But until then, hope you all have a great weekend. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
Yes. And never, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been